Have you ever felt that crushing weight of self-doubt? That voice inside telling you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough? Today, I'm going to share something revolutionary, something the ancient Stoics understood 2,000 years ago that modern psychology is only now confirming. Your self-worth is not determined by external validation, but by your relationship with your own mind. In the next 20 minutes, I'll reveal 10 powerful Stoic strategies that have helped countless individuals, from Roman emperors to modern CEOs, overcome debilitating self-doubt and build unshakable confidence. These aren't just philosophical ideas. They're practical tools that have stood the test of time. Stay with me, because the third technique completely transformed my own battle with self-doubt. And number 7? That one might just change your life. 1. Distinguish between what you can and cannot control. At the core of Stoic philosophy lies a fundamental distinction that is essential for conquering self-doubt, differentiating between what is within your control and what is not. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of history's most influential Stoic philosophers, opens his handbook with this precise wisdom. Some things are within our power, while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power are our body, our property, reputation, office, and, in a word, whatever is not of our own doing. When we suffer from low self-esteem, we often fixate on elements entirely outside our control, others' opinions, past failures, or future uncertainties. This misplaced focus inevitably breeds anxiety and diminishes our sense of self-worth. Instead, redirect your mental energy toward what you can influence: your judgments, your actions, your responses, and your virtues. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent to feedback or consequences, but rather understanding that your worth as a human being isn't determined by external outcomes. Create 2 columns on a piece of paper. In the first column, list all your current concerns about yourself. In the second column, mark whether each concern is within your control or not. For those within your control, develop specific action steps. For those beyond your control, practice accepting them with the Stoic phrase, "This is not up to me." Second, practice negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. The Stoics practiced an exercise called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This isn't pessimism, but rather a form of psychological preparation that builds resilience against self-doubt. Seneca advised, "He who has prepared himself for difficulties will withstand them better when they come." By contemplating potential setbacks in advance, you develop mental calluses that help you endure challenges when they actually arise. For those struggling with self-esteem, this practice serves 2 powerful functions. First, it defangs your fears by bringing them into the light of rational examination. When you deliberately imagine the worst-case scenarios that trigger your self-doubt, they often lose their overwhelming power. Second, it cultivates gratitude for what you currently possess, including your existing capabilities and achievements, which is a powerful antidote to pervasive self-criticism. Spend 5 minutes each morning contemplating, what's the worst that could happen today in my areas of insecurity? How would I cope if it happened? Visualize yourself responding with wisdom and dignity. Then, reflect on how unlikely the worst case actually is, and appreciate what you already have. Third, implement the dichotomy of control in self-evaluation. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome and devoted Stoic, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When evaluating yourself, strictly apply the dichotomy of control. Judge yourself not by outcomes, which are never entirely within your control, but by the quality of your choices, your intentions, and your character. Did you act according to your values? Did you put in sincere effort? Did you maintain your integrity? These are the proper measures of personal worth, not whether you received praise, achieved external success, or avoided failure. This shift in evaluation criteria liberates you from the perpetual uncertainty that fuels self-doubt. your worth becomes stable because it rests on factors you can actually control. After any significant event or interaction that triggers self-doubt, ask yourself, did I act with virtue? Did I do what was within my power? If yes, consider it a personal success regardless of external outcomes. If not, view it as an opportunity for growth rather than evidence of unworthiness. Practice rational self-dialogue. The Stoics were pioneers in cognitive restructuring, the process of identifying and challenging irrational thoughts, centuries before modern psychology formalized these techniques. Epictetus taught, "People are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." Our self-doubt stems not from objective reality, but from our interpretations. When faced with thoughts that undermine your self-esteem, engage in rational self-dialogue. Question the evidence for your negative self-assessments. Challenge absolute terms like always or never. Consider alternative perspectives. Examine whether you would judge someone else as harshly for the same situation. This internal dialogue shouldn't aim to artificially boost your ego, but to align your self-perception with objective reality. No better, no worse. When self-critical thoughts arise, write them down, then respond to them as if you were addressing a valued friend who expressed the same doubts. Notice how your perspective shifts when you introduce this psychological distance. 5. Embrace voluntary discomfort. Seneca, despite being one of Rome's wealthiest individuals, regularly practiced voluntary hardship. Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, "Is this the condition that I feared?" For those battling self-doubt, voluntary discomfort serves as profound training. By intentionally placing yourself in challenging situations, public speaking, cold showers, fasting, difficult conversations, you build evidence that contradicts your self-limiting beliefs. Each discomfort you willingly endure proves that you're stronger than you thought. Each feared scenario you deliberately confront diminishes its power over your self-perception. Moreover, this practice reduces your dependency on comfort and convenience, which often serve as crutches that mask underlying insecurities. Each week, identify one fear-inducing activity related to your self-doubt. Start small, perhaps making a phone call if you fear rejection, or speaking up in a meeting if you doubt your ideas. Gradually increase the difficulty as your confidence grows. 6. Develop a proper perspective on criticism. Epictetus advised, "If someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself against the accusations, but reply, 'You obviously don't know about my other vices, otherwise you would have mentioned those as well.'" This humorous response embodies a profound truth. Criticism need not devastate your self-worth. The Stoics recommended 3 approaches to handling criticism. First, consider whether there's truth in the criticism. If so, be grateful for the opportunity to improve. Truth is valuable, even when painful. Second, if the criticism is false, recognize that it stems from the critic's misunderstanding, not your deficiency. As Marcus Aurelius noted, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Third, remember that others' opinions exist in their minds, not in reality. Their judgments reflect their values and perceptions, not your intrinsic worth. The next time you receive criticism, wait 24 hours before responding. During this time, extract any useful feedback while discarding emotional reactions. Ask yourself, what can I learn here, and what part do I need to let go of? 7. Practice the view from above, cosmic perspective. Marcus Aurelius regularly reminded himself to consider life from a cosmic perspective. Think of the whole universe of matter and how small your share. Think about the expanse of time and how brief, almost momentary, the part marked for you. Think about fate and how small your role. This exercise might initially seem to diminish one's importance, but it actually liberates you from the prison of excessive self-concern that fuels both arrogance and self-doubt. When you contemplate your place in the vast cosmos, your everyday worries and insecurities, what others think of you, whether you measure up to arbitrary standards, reveal themselves as vanishingly small concerns in the grand scheme. This perspective doesn't promote nihilism, but rather helps you focus on what truly matters. living virtuously in the present moment, contributing positively to the world around you, and maintaining inner tranquility regardless of external circumstances. When overwhelmed by self-doubt, go outside at night and gaze at the stars. Consider the billions of people on Earth, the billions of years the universe has existed, and the cosmic insignificance of your current worry. Then return to the present with renewed clarity about what truly deserves your concern. 8. Focus on process over outcomes. Stoicism emphasizes that virtue, doing what is right and appropriate, is the only true good. External outcomes, while preferred, are ultimately indifferent to our moral worth. This principle offers profound relief from the self-doubt that comes from attaching your self-worth to results beyond your control. By focusing instead on the process, your effort, intentions, and adherence to virtuous principles, you establish a stable foundation for self-esteem. Cicero, influenced by Stoic thought, captured this idea. The man who aims at the best and acts with good intentions is praiseworthy, even if the outcome disappoints. When you judge yourself by the quality of your process rather than the outcome, you become resilient to the inevitable failures and setbacks that life presents. For your next important project or interaction, create process goals, actions entirely within your control, rather than outcome goals. For example, instead of impress everyone in the meeting, outcome, aim to prepare thoroughly and express my ideas clearly. Process. 9. Practice self-compassion through Stoic principles. While Stoicism is often misunderstood as promoting emotional suppression, true Stoic practice actually encourages a form of self-compassion based on our shared humanity. Hierocles, a Stoic philosopher, described concentric circles of concern, with yourself at the center, then family, friends, community, and ultimately all of humanity. The Stoic project involves pulling these circles inward, recognizing our fundamental connection to all human beings. This perspective helps combat the isolation that often accompanies low self-esteem. Your struggles, failures, and insecurities are not unique failings but aspects of the universal human experience. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "When you are distressed by an external event, it's not the event itself that troubles you, but only your judgment about it, and you can wipe this out at a moment's notice." When experiencing self-doubt, practice this 3-step exercise. First, acknowledge your suffering without judgment. This is a moment of difficulty. Second, recognize the universality of your experience. Others feel this way too. Third, offer yourself kindness. May I give myself the compassion I need right now. 10th, memento mori. Remember your mortality. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves of life's brevity. This practice, memento mori, or remember that you must die, wasn't meant to induce despair, but to inspire meaningful action and proper perspective. Seneca wrote, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day." When you genuinely internalize your mortality, petty worries about social standing, fleeting embarrassments, or perceived inadequacies lose their grip on your psyche. The question transforms from, "What will others think of me?" to, "Am I using my limited time in accordance with my deepest values?" This perspective shift doesn't eliminate self-doubt, but reframes it within the context of what truly matters in a finite life. Write your own eulogy as you would want it to be read, focusing on the character qualities and contributions you hope to be remembered for. Notice how few of your current insecurities appear in this document. Use this clarity to guide your daily priorities. Conclusion. The journey to conquering self-doubt through Stoic principles isn't about achieving perfection or eliminating all negative thoughts. It's about developing a philosophical framework that allows you to live well despite inevitable uncertainties and challenges. Remember that the Stoics themselves, including Emperor Marcus Aurelius, still struggled with the same human emotions we experience today. The difference was in how they responded to these emotions, not in their absence. True self-worth from a Stoic perspective comes not from external validation or achievement, but from your alignment with virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. These qualities remain accessible regardless of your circumstances, abilities, or past experiences. As Epictetus, who began life as a slave with every external reason for low self-esteem, teaches us, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. If you found value in these ancient yet timeless principles, please subscribe for more videos exploring practical philosophy for modern life. Share your experiences applying these techniques in the comments below, and remember, your worth isn't determined by shifting external standards, but by the quality of your character and the wisdom of your choices.